What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And so this is part 2 of our PSA challenge of can you make a profit off of grading just base 2022 update Julio Rodriguez and Bobby Witt Jr. cards. So real quick, it's a little different submission than the ones we normally do on here, but this was actually pretty impressive. I knew it would be a little faster just because you figure with multiples of the same card, it's easier to grade, 11 Julio base cards at once than it is to grade 11 different cards. But still pretty impressive. This was the $19 service, which will definitely come into play here. So right now the special is still $19 per card, up to a $500 value. That's for silver members of PSA. Otherwise it would cost you $25. It's not as low as 15, but that's definitely going to come into play here when we see the grade. So we sent this in on the 7th of March. I overnight everything to FedEx back and forth so I get them quickly. They got it on the 8th. It took them 8 days to enter it into the system, which is pretty standard for the value submissions. They're not going to be super quick to get those in because obviously they have all their other higher priority items. But they got it back. They shipped it back on the 6th, and they got it this morning. So I just cracked these open. And again, speed was important this time just because these cards are obviously growing in pop, which honestly, looking back, this would have been a better thing to do in the last submission I did like 2 months ago, because the prices on these are starting to fluctuate quite a bit and start to come down. So, but I still thought there was a chance to make a profit on here. So we spent $665 getting 35 cards graded, 31-day turnaround. And I already have seen these grades because I had to list these as soon as I got the grades a couple days ago. So there's no surprises for me here. It's the first time I've seen them, but I know what the grades are. And a lot of these have actually already been sold. So I'll talk about that briefly here at the end. So let's get right into it. We sent 11 base Julios in. And again, $15 would have been ideal, but the $19, it is making a difference because I can tell you right now, I'm only able to sell these right now for about $15, the 9s. So already going to be losing $4 a pop, and a little more when you take in the eBay fee. But we were trying to get about an 80% gem rate on these, on the whole submission, and we did come below that, but I have some theories as to why. So we had our first Julio base. That's going to be a 9. Here's one of the 10s. Another 9. And as I looked at these, it had to have been the centering, and I think they have just gotten a little bit more picky on giving 10s out for these because there's just so many of these coming in, right? So I got a second 9 there. I know I've sold 2 of these 9s already. And 9s are fine because, there's a different price threshold between a 10 and a 9, obviously. 10s I'm selling right now for $40, and the 9s are selling for $15. So I'm making up a little bit of the difference there. But, 9s are still, not necessarily for this card, but just in general. There is a whole different market of people looking for 9s, your value collector. So another 10, another 9. Got way too many 9s in here than I was expecting. There's a 10 on the Julio. These are all the base ones, it looks like here. That's good. Got a 10 on that one. Another 9, which these all I think were just thin on the left-hand side. I swear the 10s I was getting before, this was acceptable. This one's actually, this one's thin on the top too. So that one's probably on me. There's a 10 of the rookie debut. There's another 10 base. This is the one I don't get. An 8. This one was, I must have totally missed the ball on this one. It does not even look like it's got any centering problem, really. I don't know. So for this one, I just threw this up for a 99-cent auction, letting it ride. So that's a total loser on that one. 10 again. So we got 6 10s. There's another 10 debut. And then we got a 9 on the debut here. So put that there. So let me stack all my 10s together. There we go. And then we did get a 10 on the foil board Stars of MLB, which, we're all sick of seeing this card because we get it in every retail pack. But these are a little bit tougher to gem. There's only, 300? I checked this morning. It's only 300 and less than 400 pop on these, as opposed to the base card is over like 3,000 now. So much smaller population, much harder to get a 10 on these. So that one will definitely help out. This one on the 87 insert got a 9. I'm guessing it was too thin on the left. I couldn't really figure out why this one got a 9 when the other one, we'll see in a minute here, got a 10. Oh, this one's another good one. This is the foil generation now. This has got a smaller pop than even the Stars of MLB. So this one is going for north of 50. Like, I think I saw one sell for 60. So I got this one listed at 70. You know, I'll take an offer at 60 on that one. So this will definitely help make up for some of the other ones. On to some of the bobbies. I think they're all still mixed in here, but here we got a couple bobbies. 9 on this one. So not too thrilled with my 9 versus 10s on the base cards because we did so well in the previous submissions. I would guess, and this is probably where I think some of you put this in the comments, where you don't want to send too much of the same card in, because if you send in 20 of the same base card, do you really think they're going to give you 20 10s? Or you're going to find enough variability in those 20 cards that they have to give you 9s and 10s. So I think that might have been a lesson learned for me, and put in the comments if you've run across that yourself, where, you know, 11 base Julios and like 5 base Bobbies, they're probably not going to give all of them 10s because they're going to see some differences between the ones that are right in front of them. And that's what happened, I think, with these 87s. This one's thin on the right, but not as thin as this one is on the left. So this one threw me off a bit. There is a 10 of one of these sneaking in there. And what I'm doing with these 9s, like a few of these, like these Bobbies, I'm putting into just a lot of like the 87. Actually, I sold one already, like a 9 base and a 9 87 insert going in together. And somebody already bought that. This was one of the, you know, kind of random cards I had from the International Topps Trading Day. I just threw these in there for the heck of it. These were going to be tough to grade because I had the bottom black here, but this is, again, very low pop. I think less than 100 on these. So even at the 9, there's only 2 cards that are graded a 10. So, you know, that one's, again, more a little bit of an oddball, but I was just kind of throwing some darts here at the wall to see what would hit. And again here, this one probably thin on the top and right. Kind of looking back at it in retrospect, that was probably the case there. And then here's the 110. This one already sold. This one sold for 50. And again, the 87s are going to be more valuable than the base because there's just a smaller number of them. So that one already sold for 50 bucks. Bobbies, again, we're selling for, I think, around 15 for the 9s. So again, the 9s, we're going to lose a couple bucks, but on the 10s, you're hoping to recoup, you know, for every 10 I could sell at 50 bucks, I can sell, you know, 5 cards at a 9 and absorb that loss. But again, the idea was to try to get as many of these as 10s as possible. So there's a nice one. That was the only All-Star game one I sent in. So this one's listed at like 35 or 40, I forget. But, you know, again, I'll take offers on that. If you're seeing this, you want some cheap Julio graded cards, there you go. Here's another, oh, this is the second one? I got 2 of these? Huh. Okay. Interesting that, you know, got a 10 on the arguably harder cards to grade, which are the foil board ones. So that was nice. I forgot I had 2 of those that came in as 10. I thought it was just 1. Oh, that's why. Because I sent 3 and then one of them got a 9. Yeah. And again, on these, who knows? Centering probably, maybe a minor surface scratch, but... And here we are, like exactly 50-50. 50-50 with the loser 8 over here. And the final stretch here, Bobby got a 9. So you'll see we're going to end up right at about 50%. 9 on the Bobby Witt, again, just a random kind of a, you know, don't see many of these out there. It was a card I got for free. They were giving these out at the LCSs last year, so got a 10 on this Bobby. I think this one already sold for 40 or 45. And I'll do a recap after I sell all the cards here in the next week or so and come back and give an update. I think we're going to barely scratch a profit on this, but I was a little worried. Oh, wait. Got these out of whack here. 10 and a 9. Got a 10 again on the harder foil card. And then last but not least, another Bobby debut at a 10. So you could see we got exactly 50-50 between 9s and 10s, and we got the one Rogue 8, which, you know, whatever. I pride myself in being able to eyeball these pretty well. We've done really well in our last submission. We got over 80% on the last one. This one came out to 47% of gems, and then we have the one random 8. So kind of a 50-50 split. Again, if these were like any normal submission, you know, you'd be a little disappointed with it, but it depends on which card's gemmed up, right? So, but for this one, being that it was a base experiment, I was expecting this pile to be more like this. If we had been about, you know, 75% gem with a couple 9s and whatever, wasn't expecting an 8, then we'd be clearly into the profit. But at this point, at the $19 rate, and that's where that $4 difference does ding you a little bit, because whatever, 35 times 4, you know, it's going to be $140. That cuts into your margin. So at a $15 submission, as it was, you know, at the end of the year, would have been a lot easier to make a profit. This one will be a little bit of a stretch, but I think between the combo lots and saving on shipping, you know, I think I'll still come out ahead, but just barely. It definitely won't be double your money on this one. So if we had done 75% or better, I think we would have easily doubled our money on this. And again, you're also dealing with, you know, other people listing these. There's a ton of these showing up now. People are getting their orders back, and you can see here, already got it started partially filling it out. You know, which one sold for what. So we've already got a number of these sold, and you know, we'll see once this thing all gets done here in the next week. I'll do another quick video and just wrap that up. So that's where we're at with the PSA challenge on grading the Bobbies and Julios. And then as a peek for the next submission video we're doing, which is going to be our biggest one ever, I mean, I've got stacks upon stacks of cards going in. This is going to be about a 5 or 6 person submission. We've got stuff from all over the place. Sorry, I'm reaching back here away from the microphone. But yeah, there's going to be a ton of cards in this next submission, so keep an eye out for that. I've got some monsters. I mean, here's just one preview. Bobby Chrome Update. Number 250. That's one of my buddy's cards going in. There's some huge cards in here. It's a good mix. Mainly baseball, a little bit of football, maybe a trickle of basketball in there. But so keep your notifications up for that. That'll be coming here probably in the next week. And, you know, hopefully we'll get this back within 45 days. But again, wrapping up on this guy, it was a 31-day turnaround from being sent to being received, so pretty impressed with that. That's a $19 value charge. And, you know, we didn't get as many gems out of the base cards as I was hoping. I think I got dinged for submitting too many cards of the same type to the same grader. Let me know in the comments if that's something you have experienced yourself, or if am I just making that up, or if that's just me feeling hurt. But I think if I had split some of these cards up into different orders, they might have had a better chance of gemming individually than as a group. So anyways, we'll be shipping out some of these. If you haven't already, checked out our eBay store. We got these and plenty of other cards for sale on there, graded and raw cards. And so hit us up there, or give us a follow on eBay so you get notified whenever new stuff goes for sale. And yeah, give us a like and a sub here if you haven't already. And we'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot. Bye.